Welcome guys to my YouTube channel. I am Dreams Updates. Thank you so much for your great support. For the subscribers, thank you so much. And for those who have not subscribed, hit the subscription button. Road to 1,000 subscribers. So guys, vile wabunge walikuwa waking'ang'ana hapa na pale kutafuta the money for the NGCDF na kutafuta pesa za county, walifika mahali sasa wanasema kuwa hao watakosa kukuja vikao vya bunge hadi siku ambao pesa itakuwa deposited. Na kutokana na hiyo ilibidi John MBADI, who is the CS Treasury, aitwe akuje explain why hii pesa ijakuwa deposited hadi ifike mahali ambapo wabunge sasa wanataka hii pesa. Na hii pesa hata wabunge wenyewe kusema tu kweli, hao wabunge hii pesa tu huwa inawasaidia tu labda tu kufanya mambo yao. Most of the MPs hawatumii hadi hiyo pesa vizuri, hizo pesa za NGCDF hawatumii hata vizuri. A few ndio wanatumia hizo pesa vizuri. As we see earlier, NYORO alikama out pia na kutoka about the debts za Kenya and the situation how Kenya is on the part of debts. So vile NYORO sasa alikuwa anaongea hivyo, John MBADI alirespond cause John MBADI alifeel like kama amekuwa intimidated or ama amekuwa lectured. Na as we know before John MBADI akue appointed as the CS, Ruto alisema kuwa yeye ana deal na experts. So as we know from how John MBADI is an expert, but we are wrong. John MBADI is not an expert. So NYORO comes out and tells Kenyans how the Kenya state is on things like debts, how they borrow. So NYORO says that Kenya soon will go into a problem of debts and Kenya will not be able to pay back the debts. But in response, John MBADI comes out and say that some of the people don't know what they are talking about. So this meaning that MBADI hakuagree. MBADI didn't agree with what NYORO says. So guys, let's watch what NYORO says and let's continue.
The problem around our debt is that when we inflate our denominator, we continue to show like the economy grew with the purpose of having a leg room of borrowing more. The problem is that you cannot teach figures for too long. It catches up with you, and especially when it is time for repayment.
So guys, after you have watched the video, you can clearly see that NYORO is a bit, he knows what he is talking about. You can clearly understand and you can clearly know where we as Kenyans we are heading to. But in response with what NYORO said, John MBADI, before being appointed as the CS of the Treasury, we remember that MBADI alikuanga furious sana kuhusu hii government. Alikuanga opposition sana na hii government. Na hata there is a video I will show you guys
saying this government is becoming a Shylock. This government is becoming Fuliza. It is Tala, and I'm sure in a different name. That these are the same. In fact, it has borrowed largely. This fund, Madam Speaker, has borrowed all the bad manners of these institutions we are talking about. If you borrow Fuliza, there is automatically an amount deducted, Madam Speaker. If you borrow M-Shwari, it is the same. If you borrow from the government of Kenya, under Kenya Kwanza, automatically a percentage is deducted. This is a Fuliza government. Whether you like it or not, this is a Fuliza government in a different name. And Kenyans did not expect this, Madam
Honorable
Speaker.
members,
Nation, that this nation will soon enter into a big trouble. But soon after he has been appointed as the CS, the language changes and John MBADI says that the government is in a good state and the nation is in a good state. Ironically, after John MBADI says that, we saw that there is here a statement where it showed that the Kenya has acquired some of the money. I will show you guys. So John MBADI, he's not sure of what he's talking about, because the nation, for real, the nation is not in a good state. Even if it is borrowing, the paying will be in trouble. So it is true that this country will soon end up in a big mess, because Ruto himself said that we will not depend on borrowing. Yeah, I remember that the thing which William Ruto said, that we will not as a nation depend on borrowing. Yeah, so tukiona kuwa ati Kenya tena ilikopeshwa pesa, it is so ironical, and that's why our leaders wanna try kuwa so harsh in order that the people wasikue sana focused kwa hizo mambo. So wanajaribu kutwist the attention of the people, but people of Kenya are so super minded, wako sawa, and they cannot forget vile Ruto alikuwa anasema ati we cannot depend only in borrowing, in which the government of Ruto now, the regime now, they are carelessly spending. They don't know how to spend, and even if they are spending, they are spending on their own things. So we can see John MBADI is coming out furiously lecturing NDINDI on what NDINDI said, in which in fact it is true. Yeah, for now as a nation we are not leading we are not going in a good direction. So guys, let's watch John MBADI and see what he said.
I am just appealing that we are all privileged. We need to be sometimes a little bit cautious. I listened to one of us argue that this country is likely to be taken to pari, that we are likely to default in debt payment. That is irresponsible statement. It is irresponsible, it can cause panic, and it should not come from someone who has chaired Budget and Appropriations Committee. Let me tell you, yes, there were times when we had challenges, but where we are, we don't have a problem with debt sustainability. The numbers are there. The figures are there. Even the IMF has the figures. World Bank has figures. We have been rated out there. The problem we have is about liquidity. Loans were taken at a particular point of time. Most of them are maturing between now and 2032. That is why we have the pressure. After 2032, you go and look at our books and they're public. From 2034 to 2048, we don't have any loan to pay. There is no external loan to pay around that time. Whether bilateral, whether commercial, multilateral, we don't have much loans. But between now and 2032, we must work together. This House has a responsibility. Treasury has a responsibility. Executive has a responsibility. We must work together to steady our economy. And that is why some of us were taken to the executive as experts to make sure that we steer the ship. So don't discourage. This process will continue. I am committed to it. There is no time we will default in our loan repayment. This country is strong economically. It is the strongest economy in the region. So let nobody scare people that Kenya is going to default. We may be struggling. But let me ask you, have we failed to pay salaries? No. Have we failed to pay capitation to schools? We paid in full. Are we not meeting our expenditures for security and other matters? Yes. Are we going to release the entire CDF for development of our infrastructure in schools and security and pay bursary? Yes. Are we going to pay money to our counties? Yes. And by the way, let me ask. I have been in this house with you, and I used to sit there. That is my corner. I hope you reserve it for me. I will come back there maybe one time. This is not the first time we have had a delay. In fact, if you look at last financial year, it was worse. The last financial year was worse. And I'm committing to you, you will not have problems. I know there is bursary issues. We have released the 7 billion. I want to try release another 7 billion before schools open end of this month, so that you sort out the bursary and make sure that the balance we don't carry over to 2025, 2026. That is what I'm working on. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I know I took...
So guys, you can clearly see that John MBADI, even if Anna defend the government, but in real sense, the government is in critical condition. Even we as the citizens, we can see, yeah, the economy is high, everything is high. Some of the services are not available, yeah, and even if they are available, some of the services are so high priced. So you can see. Otherwise, thank you so much, guys. What's your opinion? Drop it on the comment section. Thanks so much for your great support. Let's continue subscribing. Don't forget to like and share the video. Otherwise, bye bye. Let's meet in another video.